With the last month of preemptions now over, WCW was back on its regular Monday night time slot with no more interruptions for the rest of the year, but at the same time facing a difficult challenge to regain the momentum, with Raw going unopposed in the last month, drawing its 3 highest-rated shows in history, as the competition resumed, with both companies looking to establish a lead and the closest margin between the shows since early '96. WCW's big angle of the night came already in the first hour, as Giant came out with nWo Hollywood members calling out Nash to the ring. Nash came out to accept the challenge, taking on all 3 before the Wolfpac made the save alongside Lex Luger, ending up with Nash giving him a red and black shirt, with him putting it on to join the Wolfpac, to a huge reaction from the crowd. With Luger and Sting set to team up against Giant and nWo Sting, the announcers hyped throughout the show the possibility of Sting joining Luger and the Wolfpac in the main event. The McMahon-Austin angle continued to dominate TV as the company was looking to establish Raw's lead for the first time in over 2 years, with more angles between them set for tonight, 6 days from the Over the Edge pay-per-view. Vince opened Raw hyping up Patterson and Briscoe after taking on Austin in a handicap match last Monday, including McMahon sitting in the crowd disguised as an Austin fan to attack him for the finish. Vince said that Sunday will be the demise of Austin's title reign to bring him out to the ring. Austin told the cops that Vince just admitted to assaulting him last week, leading to him being arrested and taken to the parking lot alongside Patterson and Briscoe to start a show-long angle, with Raw starting in the lead with a 4.2 rating. With rumors around a year ago of Raw potentially not extending or moving nights by the USA Network, talks during the week were going on the WWF about to sign a new 3-year contract with the network, coming after a massive turnaround of the show, close to doubling its viewership in less than a year to the top of the most watched shows on cable television. Another major contract for the industry signed was Bill Goldberg, not even completing his rookie year, already agreed a multi-million-dollar contract extension with WCW, after rapidly becoming one of the top attractions in the business months after his debut. A key point on the night, with WCW back on its normal time in the regular 3-hour format, was that neither Hulk Hogan nor Eric Bischoff made an appearance on the show. Roddy Piper came out to respond to Randy Savage after the last few weeks of promo exchanges between them in the lead-up to them teaming up against Hogan and Bret at the Great American Bash. Piper responded to Savage saying that the only reason they are gonna team up is their hatred of Hogan, as Savage walked to the ring with them going face-to-face in a strong confrontation between 2 of the biggest stars of all time, with history that's going back over 15 years. Savage and Piper exchanged shots and called each other out before agreeing to team up at the pay-per-view, bringing out Bret Hart to stir things up, claiming that him and Piper are working together to double-cross Savage, setting him off, with him and Piper setting up a fight between them the moment the tag match is over. The Piper Savage and Bret segment picked up over 600,000 viewers to put WCW back in the lead with a first-hour peak 4.6 rating. Next on Raw was a crossover appearance set up by Raw head writer Vince Russo, with two members of Howard Stern's Whack Pack crew, Crackhead Bob and Hank the Drunken Dwarf, with both cutting unscripted promos that had to be heavily censored due to the language used in a segment that introduced the debuting Oddities group, leading to Raw jumping to a 4.4 rating to take back the lead. After high-profile appearances by Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff, Steve Austin was on TSN's Off the Record talking about his explosion of popularity over the last year while responding to Bischoff's comments on the show in March. Austin started by addressing Eric, saying that he would have been a mid-card player today on the deep WCW roster, along with him saying that the ratings competition is not fun anymore as they're so far ahead. Austin responded saying that numbers don't lie whenever he's on TV on the USA Network, bringing up Raw's cable TV record 5.7 rating set last month along with his huge merchandise sales, while saying that now the competition should be fun again for Eric with the rates closer than ever. Austin also answered questions on Bill Goldberg, Bret and Shawn's situation, Brian Pillman and Vince as a promoter. Austin's appearance on the show along with previous guests Bret Hart and Vince McMahon in the follow-up of Montreal, was the highest-rated episode of the show to date. Vince McMahon opened Raw's second hour after being released from the police car by having to apologize to Austin, bumping the show over 600,000 viewers to a 4.5 rating. Vince said that he didn't mean anything he said to the cops earlier, saying that there's no one that can intimidate him and Austin's fun is gonna end tonight, booking a huge impromptu match of Undertaker vs. Austin for the main event. The top of the hour quarter, in addition to a Taka vs. Togo match, also featured the continuation of DX's WCW operation, this time with them in an airport with Triple H about to fly over the WCW building in Evansville, Indiana. Raw's peak quarter of the night came at an unusual timing between 10:15 to 10:30 with a 4.7 rating, featuring the follow-up on DX in the airport and mainly Farouk vs. Mark Merrow with Sable at ringside, including a post-match Sable and Merrow segment setting up a match at Over the Edge with the stipulation of Sable having to leave the company if Merrow wins against a mystery opponent. At the same time on TNT, Bill Goldberg came out to a massive reaction with every corner of the Roberts Stadium in Indiana covered in Goldberg signs, coming off the release of his first Who's Next t-shirt with his merchandise already doing huge sales at the house shows. Goldberg went over Johnny Attitude in a minute, with the company placing 2 commercial breaks in each side of the match in the same quarter, with the strategy of Goldberg bumping up viewers even in a short match to offset the numbers drop happening during the break. Similar to Nitro a few minutes earlier, with the close competition leading to more thought and detail being put into the formatting of the shows, Raw went with strategic placement of 3 commercial breaks into a quarter between 10:30 to 45, which led to a sharp drop to a 4 rating, with the idea that the 2 top promoted matches of Rock vs. Triple H and Steve Austin vs. Taker can both go uninterrupted back-to-back. Raw's segment featured a Pat Patterson tribute video package, the payoff of the DX angle with Hunter in a plane skywriting over the WCW building, and the Rock Hunter entrances, which included Rock's pre-match promo hyping tonight's match along with Sunday's Rock vs. Farouk blow-off match at Over the Edge. while Raw had a quarter filled with commercials, one after the Patterson video, second after Rock's promo, and the third 2 minutes into the match. WCW had Chris Benoit vs Booker going 12 minutes, jumping over 400,000 viewers in the first match of their Best of 7 series, with Benoit going over with the crossface to go 1-up. Raw's main event segment saw Rock vs Triple H going 11 minutes, with the post-match angle of Farouk pile driving Rock on the stage in the final build to their match over 6 months in the making, while immediately after that went to the Austin Taker match with Vince McMahon coming out as the special referee, ending up with the match not happening, with Taker choke slamming Vince and Kane coming out for a brawl, bringing out Austin to take out McMahon, Patterson, Briscoe and Foley to close the show. Raw's strategy of having the final quarter as commercial-free, which usually led to good results, didn't see the expected bump this time, as Raw didn't recover and remained at a 4 rating, going against the WCW main event that jumped big at the same time. After teasing the possibility of Sting joining the Wolfpac throughout the last 2 hours, the Sting and Luger vs Giant and nWo Sting match along with the post-match angle showed big interest, jumping over 900,000 viewers to the most watched segment on the night on both programs with a 5 rating. Sting and Luger went over in 6 minutes to bring out the Wolfpac with a red and black shirt, closing the show with a cliffhanger of Sting hesitating to put it on as the crowd popped big. WCW was back on Monday night with a 4.2 rating, while Raw also drew a 4.2, with each company winning 4 quarters out of 8 in the closest week in Monday Night War's history. In a closer look at the numbers, WCW held the slightest edge, drawing a 4.222 rating, while Raw drew a 4.221 over the head-to-head 2 hours. Taking margin of error into consideration, both shows drew the exact same number, with each company fighting to establish a lead.